level 95 Infernalist, 16,000 plus energy shield, 8 insanely powerful frozen Mandibles Specters are just the tip of the iceberg in this spectacular build that shreds everything in its path. As we progress through the map, feels like we are advancing with a giant mobile grinder and the enemies on screen rush towards our character to meet their doom. Hello my fellow gamer, it's Griffin here and welcome to the most powerful build I've ever played in POE 2, the min-maxed Infernalist Frozen Mandibles physical and fire damage build. Expensive? Oh yeah. Powerful? Oh, indubitably. Since my last video, the character evolved and the build has changed quite a bit, so today we'll go over in details regarding gear, gems, passive skill tree and Ascendancy. Thank you for joining us today regarding this epic build. If you're enjoying the video, feel free to give it a like and please subscribe. It helps the channel a lot and it is much appreciated. And now, let's dive in. Gear and Ascendancy. We'll cover both sections in one go because we'll start with two very important questions. How to get 16,000 energy shield and how to summon 8 specters that are level 33. Well, we'll need a rattling scepter with a lot of spirit, 180 spirit in this case, that has minion life and ideally flat physical damage, flat fire damage, or minions deal increased damage mods. I crafted this scepter but would be around 8 maybe 10 divines, probably a bit more if it would have minions deal flat damage as well. Body armor with a ton of energy shield, minimum 700, also spirit, in this case 60 additional spirit, and elemental resistances to make sure our character is elemental resistance capped. I purchased this armor for 10 divines. Helmet with energy shield, 342 in this case, rarity of items found and a very important mod +2 to all minion skills. Also we are socketing Talisman of Ralakesh for 6% increased reservation efficiency of minion skills. The more energy shield on the helmet the better, to take full advantage of the Illuminated Crown node that provides 70% increased energy shield from the equipped helmet. A helmet like this is quite expensive but without rarity of items found will be around 3 divines. Amulet with spirit, energy shield and resistances and also a very important +3 to all minion skills. I paid 8 divines for this amulet. A focus with energy shield, 451 in this case, that has faster start of energy shield recharge and again very important +2 to all minion skills. On the rings we want elemental resistances, life, rarity of items found and main attributes like intelligence, strength or dexterity. I found these rings while doing T3 Zesht. I used few exalts on them and this is the end result. Gloves with energy shield, minimum 200, elemental resistances and intelligence in this case. At the time of the recording, gloves with similar specs are around 4 divines. For the belt we're using Darkness Enthroned with minimum 91% increased effect of socketed items and with a very important line, this item gains bonuses from the socketed items as though it was a helmet. This is important because we're socketing 2 Talismans of Ralakesh for a total of 22% increased reservation efficiency of minion skills and this item only works with helmets. I paid 1 chaos for this belt. For boots, we're using a very important unique item, Bones of Wool, that provides up to 30% increased reservation efficiency of skills which create undead minions. I think I paid 5 chaos for this item. On the passive skill tree, we also allocate a very important node, Lord of Horrors, for 12% increased reservation efficiency of minion skills. Regarding the Ascendancy nodes, first we take Loyal Hellhound that summons Infernal Hound, a minion that has no spirit reservation and always ignites enemies. For this reason we can use Fire Explosion and Potent Exposure support gems, making the Hellhound a key minion in the Infernalist army. This is the reason our specters and the rest of the minion army deals physical and fire damage. The second node is Altered Flesh and the third one is Baydad's Will that provides +1 to maximum spirit but 25 of maximum life. This is another major reason we've chosen the Infernalist Ascendancy, because the additional spirit it provides is extremely useful for the overall build. The downside is that reserves 25% of our character's maximum life. The last node is Baydat's Hand that provides +1 to maximum energy shield per 8 of maximum life. A welcomed energy shield boost, although the downside is that reserves another 25% of our character's maximum life. So one might ask, but Griffin, regarding minion levels, we have +4 from the scepter, +3 from the amulet, +2 from the helmet and +2 from the focus. This represents +11 to minion skill levels on top of the current level 20 skill gem, raising our Specter Gem to level 31, not 33. How do we get the extra 2 levels? Well, I'm happy you asked. We'll answer this question in the gems section. For skills, we're using Infernal Hound with Fire Exposure, Potent Exposure, Fire Attunement, Hulking Minions and Feeding Frenzy 2. Skeletal Warriors with Blind 2, Maim, Fire Attunement, and Sacrificial Lamb 2. Sacrificial Lamb 2 is very important because when we'll activate Pain Offering, we'll talk about that very soon, it will use these Skeleton Warriors if in range and not other minions. Skeleton Reaver and Skeleton Sniper have the same support gems. Rapid Attacks 2, Heft, Fire Attunement, and Feeding Frenzy 2. Skeletal Cleric with Brutus Brain and Rapid Casting 2. Unearth with Feeding Frenzy 2, Rapid Attacks 2, Fire Attunement, Prolonged Duration 2 and Efficiency 2. Pain Offering that provides a massive boost in damage and attack speed for all minions while active, and the supports are Minion Mastery, Sacrificial Offering, Dance Macabre, Prolonged Duration 2 and Efficiency 2. Elemental Weakness and Vulnerability have the same support gems, Heightened Curse, Focus Curse, Cursed Ground, Magnified Area 2 and Efficiency 2. Frost Bomb that was changed in the 3rd Edict update to create Elemental Exposure, not just Cold Exposure, and we're using Rapid Casting 2, Potent Exposure, Spell Echo, Spell Cascade and Efficiency 2. Now let's talk about the Specter Gem. In one of my previous videos, I presented in details how to easily craft a level 21 Specter Gem, and I will leave a link in this video description. With a bit of currency and luck, we can craft a corrupted level 21 Specter Gem. The supports for the Specter Gem Frozen Mandibles are Feeding Frenzy 2 for more damage, Rapid Attacks 2, Fire Attunement for 25% of damage's extra fire damage, Master, and by using this support, minions deal 7% more damage for each different type of revivable minions our character has summoned, and we have 5 of them, therefore we'll have 35% more damage for our Specters. Last but not least, the very expensive and absolutely amazing gem, Dialla's Desire. This thing is outstanding, provides +1 to skill level and 10% additional quality, in other words 10% more damage, plus reduces mana cost and reservation, and yes, refers to mana and spirit reservation costs, in other words increases the reservation efficiency of minion skills once socketed. By how much, you ask? Well, let's have a look. Our character has 473 spirit, and without Dialla's Desire equipped, the spirit requirement for one Spectre is 59, and we can only raise 7 Frozen Mandibles Specters, and each deal around 81,000 damage. In this case, we have 15 spirit available. Once we equip Dialla's Desire, the spirit requirement for one Spectre drops from 59 to 53, and we can raise an additional Frozen Mandible Spectre, each dealing around 98,000 damage, and we have 4 spirit left. So it provides about 10% increased reservation efficiency of the Specter Gem, and, as mentioned earlier, a massive damage increase through 10% increased quality and +1 to skill level. Cool, but how expensive is this gem? Well, at the time of the recording is 17 divines. The overall build cost for items with similar specs can be somewhere between 50 and 60 divines. Considering the build presented in the previous video was under 10 divines, this represents a massive jump in price, but when we are talking about min-maxing the build, the end result is never cheap. About a third of the overall cost was Dialla's desired gem that elevated this build to a whole new level. Will the build perform well without it? Absolutely. In my previous video, when we didn't have the gem, the build was performing great with 5 Specters and they were not as powerful either. I played a lot of builds since PoE 2 launch and few stand out as builds that can excel at both mapping and bossing, and there are always compromises to be made for a build to be viable in high-end game content, especially on low-budget builds. This build performs great under 5 Divines investment, but min-maxing the build while finding a good balance between more damage and better defense requires fine-tuning, game knowledge, and wait for it, currency, sometimes a lot of it. But once we have the currency for it, once we've invested into these high-end items, the whole perception shifts. The build gains new dynamic, flows better, inspires more confidence regarding both defense and offense, and operates at a new efficiency level that we couldn't see or appreciate before. It boils down to budget, of course, but once we've invested the necessary currency, we're in for a treat. It is devastating and crushing in its offense, outstanding and very reliable on its defense, also epic and superb in its gameplay. That being said, although it is very tanky, it is not indestructible, as I will present in the following section. While playing a fully juiced T15 map irradiated with delirium content against the final boss, all went well until this happened. One hit from the boss damaged 16,000 plus energy shield and almost the entire HP pool, leaving our character that it is elemental resistance capped with 100 plus life. Like I said, super tanky, but not indestructible. Even at this gear and character level, caution is advisable, especially in delirium encounters, where ground effects and telegraphed attacks are very hard to notice. Regarding passive skill tree, not much has changed since the last video. Main focus is still minion damage, minion life and resistances, also increased energy shield for our character. I will leave a link to the Mobalytics guide in the video description regarding passive skill tree, gems, gear and ascendancy. The main difference to the last build is that I removed this minion stun build up node and added the point here, and with the 2 extra level our character has gained since, we've managed to allocate this jewel for increased maximum energy shield, increased energy shield from the equipped focus, and minions have increased attack speed. Speaking of jewels, we're using sapphire jewels that have increased maximum energy shield, increased energy shield from the equipped focus, minions gain elemental resistances, +1 to our character's maximum resistances, cold in this case, and minions have increased attack speed. In conclusion, the level 95 Infernalist physical and fire damage min-maxed build is phenomenal, extremely fun and enjoyable, powerful, devastating and tanky, that can handle anything the game can throw at it in the 3rd Edict update. There is a powerful synergy between minions, the Infernal Hound always ignites enemies and with the support gems mentioned earlier creates potent fire exposure, while also alongside the rest of the revivable minions boosts Specter's damage because we're using master support on the Specter Gem. We lower enemies' fire resistance through Elemental Weakness Curse, while Vulnerability Curse lowers their armor significantly and they'll take more physical damage. The defensive layers of our character are outstanding, 16,000 energy shield, elemental resistance capped, and very resilient minions that absorb a lot of hits in the process. It is by far the tankiest and the strongest build I played in PoE 2. The Infernalist Frozen Mandibles Specters physical and fire damage build is in a league of its own and I highly recommend it. But what do you think about it? Please let us know in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you enjoyed it, feel free to give the video a like and don't forget to subscribe to get notifications about new content uploaded on this channel. Thank you so much for watching. All the best. Bye.